Hi, it's Christina with the Sisyphean Journal. The liberal hive mind did a beautiful job with this. SJW was not prepared for this debate. Watch how bad it went for her. Um, where a group of abortion supporting, looks like college students, decided to challenge a very well prepared pro life speaker. And all she did was ask them some questions, and this SJW came away looking pretty clueless. Her only argument was really her sign, which read, "Life begins when you understand living women matter more than potential babies." And there's so much falsehood in that slogan that I'd like to kind of pick it apart. Um, and I'm not going to take them to be literal when they say life begins when you understand living women matter more than potential babies. I'm sure that they aren't arguing that you should be allowed to abort the speaker. But there's some things happening here. One is the idea that this is a living women versus potential babies. Yes, the women are living. Nobody's arguing that. One aspect of this is, what is it in the uterus that's being destroyed in an abortion? And I did a piece a while back, I wish I still had the link, about when the products of conception really is just tissue. There's a condition, it's called molar pregnancy, in which you don't get a normal conception. You don't get the sperm and the egg and they unite and a new human being starts. They believe that what causes it is that the two sperm collide, and you wind up without the mother's input, and what you wind up with, that the mechanism doesn't matter. What matters is that sometimes a what appears to be a pregnancy turns out, you do the ultrasound and you look and there is no fetus there. There's what's called a hydatidiform mole. Hydatidiform means having the form of grapes. To me, it looks a little bit more like a pomegranate with the peel off, but it's a blob of tissue. It's just globs of undifferentiated gunk, pretty much, which is what the abortion lobby claims that is the only thing that's removed in an abortion, is something, just some tissue like a hydatidiform mole. But you'll notice that there's never been any outrage from pro-lifers about removing hydatidiform moles. I've got no problem with it. I've got no problem with it. I've never known a pro-lifer who had a problem with it. If a woman went into a pro-life pregnancy center and they're doing the ultrasound and they go, there's not a fetus there, it's a hydatidiform mole, they send her to a doctor to get it removed, because that's the appropriate treatment for a molar pregnancy. If there was just tissue there, the pro-lifers have no problem with it being removed, right? No problem. So, it's not, in order for the pro-choice stand to cohere, one of two things has to be true. Either this really is just a valueless blob of tissue, in which case, who cares? Nobody. You want to remove it because that's the appropriate treatment. If it's not just a glob of tissue, if it is an irreplaceable human being, then that moves things onto a different sphere. And she's saying potential babies, and they're deliberately using the word potential there. You would never refer to a toddler as a potential teenager, or a teenager as a potential octogenarian. These are phases of development that we go through. We start out as, zygote, embryo, fetus, neonate, toddler, preschooler, and so forth. But they're sticking the word potential in there to try to distract away from the fact that there really is an entity there. Because if it's only potential and there's not an entity, you don't have to have a discussion about what that entity is and whether or not that entity has any value. Then there's the other thing, that, see how much crap there is in just this one slogan? There's the idea that pro-lifers are saying that the fetus matters more than the woman. And nobody's asserting that. Nobody's saying that, we should, arm fetuses with ninja throwing stars so they can kill the mother on their way out the womb. Nobody's arguing that fetuses should be allowed to choose to kill their mothers. What they're saying is that if you look, and to me the bodily rights argument is the weakest abortion rights argument. because it's saying that the woman's bodily autonomy trumps the fetus's bodily autonomy. But if you look at the situation, the woman is dealing with a partial and temporary infringement on her bodily autonomy. You know, she can still play golf, go skiing, go on vacation, go to work, bake cookies, you know, take a windsurfing class, whatever it is, until she gets a little unwieldy. But pregnancy is not this total debilitation, and it's not permanent. It is this temporary thing, and it's only partial. So it's this temporary, partial thing that you're seeing as an infringement on your bodily integrity. Well, the abortion is a total and permanent infringement on the baby's bodily integrity. You're just taking everything away. So, you know, all we're saying is let this entity have the opportunity to have choices. You know, your one single discrete choice should not trump an entire lifetime of choices of this other human being. So there's just a lot going on there, and, you know, clearly from the smug look on her face, she thought, I've got it nailed. This is, can't beat this. And it's like, honey, you clearly haven't thought this through.